Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome back. This is the second lecture on strategic planning and management, what we call the advanced strategic planning and management. Today we are going to talk about thinking strategically. What we call you cannot achieve strategic planning or strategic management, or what let me make a scenario. What we call that you cannot achieve strategic management without strategic planning, and you cannot achieve strategic planning without strategic thinking until and unless you don't have a strategic thinking mentality. You cannot go ahead for strategic planning and ultimately strategic management. All right, thinking strategically, we need three important strategic questions. For any organization, for any company, there are three major or three big strategic questions to be asked. Everybody should ask these three questions, and then if you answer the questions, you move on towards the journey towards strategic planning and management. Number one, where are we now? In current scenario, where are we now? Secondly, where do we want to go? What do we mean here? Where do we want to go? Means businesses to be in and market positions to be stake out. Or what buyers need and groups to serve. I mean, what your company is going to serve to whom, and outcomes to achieve. What outcomes? What objectives? What goals you are going to achieve? And the third question is how do we get there? So these are three important questions. Number one, where are we now? Number two, where do we want to go? Number three, how do we get there? Okay, the second aspect here in strategic thinking is there should be an understanding of strategy or business model. Means strategic model or strategy model and business model. What is the difference between strategy model and business model? I would request you to pause this video and comment below what do you understand by strategy model and business model. All right. So, strategy model means strategy deals with a company's or organization's competitive initiatives and business approaches, while business model is concerned whether the revenues and costs flowing from the strategy demonstrate what the business can be amply profitable and viable. Means strategy is focusing on the competitive initiatives, long run competitive initiatives, while business model is much more focusing on the profitability of that organization. All right, now my question in this video lecture is the 5 tasks of strategic management. The question is, who performs the 5 tasks of strategic management, or what are the 5 tasks of strategic management? So this is what we call 2 in 1. One, what are the 5 tasks of strategic management? Number 2, the who performs the 5 tasks of strategic management. I would request you to pause the video and comment below. All right. So the 5 tasks of strategic management are here. Number 1, task 1, develop a strategic vision and mission. Task 2, set the objectives. Task 3, craft a strategy to achieve objectives. Task 4, implement and execute strategy. Task 5, monitor, evaluate and take corrective actions. But here, what to be done if something goes wrong? For example, if in task 5 you check out that your objectives are not done, then where will you go? You recycle as needed. You move towards task 4, and if nothing is found wrong in task 4, you improve and change in task 3. If you find nothing is wrong in task 3, you move towards task 2 and similarly towards task 1. Even you can change, alter, amend your mission and vision. All right, let's go in detail. Number 1, developing a strategic vision. How to develop a strategic vision? There are few important aspects and few important things to be considered strategically. Developing a strategic vision involves strategic thinking about number 1, firms, organizations, or a company's future business plans. Number two, where to go. These tasks include creating a roadmap of the future, deciding future business position to stake out, providing long-term directions, and giving the organization a strong identity. In this way, you go on developing a strategic vision. There would be multiple characteristics of strategic vision. I would request you to comment below what do you think, what would be the characteristic features of strategic vision. Now let's move towards the second task. The second task is set the objectives. So here there are two types of objectives. Number one, financial objectives. Number two, strategic objectives. What are financial objectives? How can we define financial objectives? The financial objectives are the outcomes focused on improving financial performance of an organization. What are the strategic objectives? The strategic objectives focus on the outcomes, and the outcomes which are focused on improving long-term competitive business positions. So in this way you set the financial objectives as well as the strategic objectives. Let's move towards the third task. The third task is crafting a strategy. In crafting a strategy, the process involves two important aspects. Number one, what I call the whether aspect. Number two, the how aspect. The whether aspect says that the strategy involves determining whether to concentrate on a single business or several businesses. What do you mean by this? Means diversification. It involves to cater to a broad range of customers or focus on a particular niche, or it goes for developing a wide or narrow product line. It pursues a competitive advantage based on either low cost or product superiority or unique organizational capabilities. So this is what we call the whether aspect of strategy, which involves various aspects here. Number two, in crafting a strategy, the second aspect which I call the how aspect. It involves deciding how to respond to changing buyer preferences. What do you mean by this? Changing buyers' preferences? Because buyers, they keep on changing their preferences based on their taste, based on their interest, their liking, their disliking. It involves deciding how to respond to new market conditions. It also involves deciding how to grow the business over the long run or over the long term. It also involves achieving performance targets and how to outcompete rivals. So these two aspects are very important, whether aspect and how aspect, in the third task, what I call crafting a strategy. Okay, the fourth aspect is implementing and executing strategy. In implementation and execution of a strategy, we take care of few aspects, few points. Number one, taking actions to put a freshly chosen strategy into place, means putting that into action, make it happen. And when you put it into place, you keep on supervising the ongoing pursuit of a strategy. You also go on improving the competence and efficiency with which the strategy is being executed. And last but not the least, what we say in implementing and executing strategy, where it goes on showing measurable progress in achieving the targeted results and objectives. All right, so the last step or the last task is called monitoring, evaluating, and taking corrective actions as needed. This is the last task of strategic management. In this task, the tasks or the activities of crafting, implementing, and executing a strategy are not a one-time exercise. Let me tell you that they go on and on and on. It includes customer needs and competitive conditions change. It includes new opportunities appear, technology advances, any number of other outside development occur. One or more aspects of executing the strategy may not be going well. Excuse me. New managers with different ideas take over. Organizational learning occur. All these trigger the need for corrective actions and adjustments. So, on the basis of it, we concluded our lecture 3. My name is Dr. Zia. If you like it, please subscribe, like button and share. I thank you very much.